We've been here in Vancouver now for close to 10 days, and now Lauren's made some great meals, but now it's time to try our hand at making pizza on the R43. All right, Lorraine, what are you up to here?
Making pizza. First time on the boat.
Yum.
Not quite sure how it'll go, but a little bit of an experiment. So I have 2.5 cups of 00 flour. 00 is finely ground flour. And I have 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt in there, and I'm mixing that up because the yeast should not touch the salt. And then I found this at the market, which I've never used before. We've only used the bread yeast, but this one is a pizza yeast. And it uses the whole package for 2.5 cups. So we're gonna try that. So that goes in, the whole package it says. And it says to add sugar. And I guess that's to feed the yeast, but we don't put sugar in. So we're just gonna let the yeast do its thing without the sugar. And then I have 3/4 of a cup of warm water. And it should be warm like to the top of your lip. You shouldn't be able to feel a temperature difference. So then you just put that in. And all I want to do at this point is to just hydrate it. And then once I hydrate it, then I'm going to let it sit for 5 minutes. And then I'll do our regular fold and stretch 3 times with olive oil, which I'll show you after. But we have a clean cupboard. We have to do a stretch and fold 3 times, 5 minutes in between. So I'm just going to show you what we do as we coat my hands. Beautiful olive oil. I don't put the olive oil in the dough, but it gets in. Now you can see that after hydrating the dough, this is the texture that we have. Now I'm going to put it down here, and I'm going to do a stretch and a fold. We're going to do that 2 more times. Stretch and fold. And then turn it over, let it sit for 5 minutes, and then 1 more, sit for 5, 1 more. Okay, that's that one.
All right. What's going on, huh?
I'm just going to put a little bit more olive oil on my hands for our final stretch and fold. Now, look at this elasticity. Isn't that beautiful compared to that shaggy dough that we had earlier?
Yeah.
All right, that's our last stretch and fold. So I'm just going to form it. Beautiful feel to it. It seems like it has nice texture. So, a little bit of oil here on the countertop. Just going to leave it like this. It's Christmas Eve. Our daughter is coming for pizza later on the boat. And it's 2:30, so we're going to leave that for a couple hours, and then we're going to get ready and have pizza. And hopefully it works.
You can put a little helmet over there.
I am.
And then in a couple hours it'll risen.
Yeah.
All right.
And we'll be ready to go.
Okay. Great.
Hi. I bought this pizza stone because we use one at home, and it helps make everything nice and crispy. So I thought I'd try it in the oven. Problem is, it might be exactly the oven size, 12 by 15. And you really need a couple of inches or an inch or so on each side to let the heat circulate. So we're going to try it, but it may be a failed experiment. We'll see. About a pizza stone is that you actually have to put it in the oven right from the get-go. So you can't have it in a heated oven, it'll crack. So let me show you why I say it might not work. But then again, it doesn't look too bad. There's a little bit of room on each side here, so we're going to try it.
You can go back farther.
Yeah? Okay. All right, well, we're going to try it.
All right.
So let me show you how much has risen in a couple hours. That's for 2 pizzas.
Oh,
Normally I would put it in the fridge to slow the rising down, but because we're having company almost right away, I didn't think that I would put it in the fridge. But if you do put it in the fridge, you just put a bit of oil saran over it, and then you take it out an hour beforehand for it to come to room temperature, and then you can cook it.
cool.
Okay, so we have our mise en place ready. Our pizza has risen well, so we have
Nice.
2 pizzas. We have a vegetarian, and we also have a meat lovers pizza. That's what we're having tonight. So the mise en place, of course, you have your tomato sauce, your different cheeses. These are sun-dried tomatoes, mushrooms, green peppers, olives, pesto, tempeh, some spinach, and some different meats. So
What's
I'm
this
just
again?
going to
Yeah, tell me
tempeh.
about that.
Yeah. Jillian, you want to tell us about the tempeh?
It's a soy-based protein.
Okay. So yeah, you can turn it on. Oh, I should tell you, I got the baking stone in there. Did you see me put that in? I forgot. Yeah.
Yes, we did.
And it's heating, and you're supposed to leave it in like for about 40 minutes to an hour ahead of time. So that's what we've been doing.
All right.
Okay. All right. I'm no specialist, but we'll do our best here.
You're not gonna fling it up in the air?
No, I'm
and...
not actually. Might land on those pot lights.
Yeah, that's too. You need a little bit more ceiling height than the
I do
R43
need-
has.
Yeah.
So this is a special yeast that's supposed to keep the dough from springing back. Are you
Yeah.
finding that that's working the way it's
Yeah, I
advertised?
like it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, what I normally do is I leave it on parchment paper when it goes in the oven. And then after 3 or 4 minutes, I take the parchment out and then turn the pizza. So that's what we're going to try tonight. And see if it works on top of our stove.
So we don't have a pizza board.
Paddle.
So we had to cut the top of the pizza stone box.
To move it in and out.
There, that's what you're seeing there.
Innovation.
Yeah, necessity is the mother of invention.
Yeah, so see, it works. We'll be moving it in and out. Okay.
All right. There's Lorraine and Jillian.
Christmas Eve.
Yeah, our daughter.
Okay. Then we'll put some mushrooms and green peppers and spinach. Oh, and I want some of those sun-dried tomatoes too, actually.
Okay.
All right. We'll come back when it's all completed here.
Don't put it too much in the center though, as you know.
The voice of experience in the background there.
Yeah. Do you want some red pepper flakes before or after?
Ooh, maybe before a little bit.
Okay. Pull up my
What?
spice box for
What
red
was-
pepper flakes.
What was that vegetarian pizza that you guys got in Chicago that was really good?
Oh, Giordano's? Or was it?
Lou
No.
Manetti's?
Lou Malnati's, yeah.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was
And
really
then we
good.
made one in Idaho, do you remember?
Yeah, and
Oh,
Sean and I
it's
have made it a
delish.
couple of times. And
A lot of bread.
we need to make it again, actually. It's been a while. We
Mm.
don't have the skills anymore.
Oh.
Don't want to lose it. Use it or lose it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then I think the spinach.
You want some feta on top?
Yeah,
for
on top of the
taste?
spinach.
And do you want your pesto on the very tippy top?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. And some red pepper there. And feta?
But this is a nice working space, sitting on top of the stovetop here.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's
And
toasty
this
too.
one behind you. Oh, that looks nice.
Okay, some globs of pesto probably.
Pesto globs.
So this came from the market. Lemon pesto, parsley pesto, is that right? Can't remember.
Possible I may have overloaded the pizza,
Uh-huh.
but that tends
We'll
to
see.
be a
Frequent
frequent issue. of
The common issue with,
Yeah.
mine.
with everyone.
We
Yes.
love making.
Yeah, let's goes. It's not a big deal. It's a minor thing, right? But yeah, we'll like I don't want to like something up if there was an intention for why it's like that, you know. I don't
Oh, that looks pretty good.
Well, that was a fun day, and I learned a few things along the way. So I'm going to go back to the instant yeast that I use at home. I didn't get that nice bubble development that I like on the crust. Also, the stone is too big, so I'm going to look for a smaller one or cut that down. The pizza takes a lot longer to cook in this oven, 20 to 25 minutes at the highest possible temperature, so be prepared for that. I also found that the dough didn't brown and the toppings didn't really bubble, and so I put it under the broiler for a few minutes before I served it. Remember that you can only use the broiler or the oven, and so if you're using the oven, you have to turn it off in order to ignite the broiler. Well, thanks for viewing, and if you try this on your boat, post some comments. Let me know what you think was the best way to do it. Bye.